Hello, Venus Angels. Welcome back to another episode of Venus Cove, a show about all things spiritual, astrology, and introspective, and of course, the girly things. Today, I wanted to talk to y'all about my hot girl healing. I'm gonna do a little bit of a story time today. So, this past week was the full moon in Pisces, specifically. But on the eve of the full moon, Saturday evening, I asked myself, what am I searching for? What am I really doing? What type of diva do I want to be and why? And as someone who's heard all the cliches of life, like don't take life too seriously, don't break your pretty little head about figuring things out, just live, blah, blah, blah. Or the ones who do take life seriously. As I got older, I have ended up falling into the category of I take myself seriously and the life that I want. And I respect life. Life is a blessing and it's sacred and it's short, and I'm only here for a short amount of time. So I want to make the most of it. And so, for the past 30 years or so, I have tried my best with what I know and how to live it, And I think I did a pretty good job at it. But there were times that I wish I knew more and had more knowledge over, especially things that society puts on us women, But the past 2-3 weeks, I have been trying to make my weekends to my liking and to my romanticization. And last weekend, I ended up having a beautiful time. Heck, I even had vegan food, and it made my tummy very happy and open. And maybe it was all the veggies, or the beautiful stroll around Brooklyn, or the coffee I made at home, or maybe the majestic rainstorm that came and went. But I really enjoyed last weekend, and I'm excited for this weekend. It gave me a sigh of release to ask myself in a very calm and chill way, hey, what are you searching for now? Now that you're about to end an era and go into a brand new one, going into my 30s, literally. Because I'm feeling this glow. I got more pep to my step, and I wanted to share a little bit of my thoughts. And if anyone who is listening is also going through this time in their life where they're stepping into their 30s, or maybe they're just, getting an age older, for the Virgos and the Libras, the Scorpios, Sagittarius, and Capricorns of the last zodiac signs of the year, this episode might be just for you. If you're coming to a point in your life where it's giving coming of age era, maybe going through some changes, finally letting go of old toxic friendships, relationships, a job, moving out, and so forth, this is definitely for you and you should stick around. So let's begin. All week last week, I had been on work mode, and I made it that way. I decided to dedicate the whole 5 days out of my week to get all my work done. School, content creating, errands, responsibilities, working out, all of it. It's Virgo season, I'm on work mode, and I've been enjoying it. It's been fulfilling, and then when the weekend comes, I let go. I'm excited and even more happy to do whatever I want without worry, and I've been taking strolls the past 2 weekends, either in Manhattan or Brooklyn, going to random stores, either with friends or family members. And can I just say, there's something so special and magical and just naturally therapeutic to go outside. And you don't even actually have to touch grass, believe it or not. Just being outside and breathing fresh air and letting the sun hit your face and letting the trees be under you as you walk down the blocks is just so healing and refreshing. Going into stores, looking at new things in person instead of online, walking around a bookstore surrounded by books and other humans, going to a coffee shop where maybe there's plants around and it's aesthetically pleasing instead of ordering your drinks ahead and running out. Maybe trying like a new no-chain cafe if you have that accessible around you. Spicing it up, And you don't have to spice it up to the nines. Like, you don't have to go to an event every weekend or go out for drinks every weekend either. I'm not saying you need to go nuts when the weekend comes. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. I was like that at one point, but when I was like that, it was because I really hated my life, my job, my relationships. Like, I just needed to release it all on the weekend as hard as possible. But now that I'm single and let go of toxic friendships and don't work a job I despise, I don't feel the urge to go so hard. Do I still like to party? Yes. Do I still enjoy clubbing? Absolutely. I am a millennial, and that will be the hill I will happily die on. But I don't have to do it every weekend anymore. So it's fine. When I do show up to intense places like a club or a bar or a rooftop or an event, whatever, I show up with the energy of I'm so ready to have a good time so life can continue to be spontaneous and magical. I'm not there because I'm so angry at the rest of the world or my life, you know? There's a big difference now. There's a big shift. But all is to say, now that I feel like I have a good balance in my life where I'm not on survival mode anymore, the next question comes to me in a way that's calm, kind of quirky and philosophical, but not in a nihilistic way. I feel like when most people hear philosophy, they think of nihilism and just like doom and gloom of life. No. I feel delighted, like those food belts at Asian restaurants, like, ooh, what's next to come out, you know? So I asked myself, what am I searching for? Do I have any more problems I need to solve, you know? Because the other day, like earlier this week, I felt a sense of fear and worry. And so I started journaling, and it went on for like 3 hours, but I came to the conclusion of, wait, I don't have a lot of problems anymore. Like, yes, there's things that need to be done and completed, or I will give myself problems, but there's nothing actually detrimentally wrong in my life anymore. And I was sitting in my kitchen, drinking my coffee, and writing in complete silence, just the paw steps of my cat lingering in the background, and thought, oh my goodness, I'm okay. I'm like, wait, where's the drama? Or wait, where's the long paragraphs that I have to do to explain myself to so-and-so? And I'm like, wait, no, I don't do that anymore. I don't explain myself anymore. I don't have to write essays to anyone besides my professors. I don't have issues or problems with anyone. I'm good. I can do my work in peace and make art in peace and do yoga in peace and heck, even think about future plans in peace. I almost sat there just trying to think of a problem, like try to come up with one. Like, I know I missed a spot, you know? It was kind of hilarious that I started crying and saying thank you to the universe. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. Like, we really are here right now. It was one of those moments of everything you've ever done has led you to this very moment of your life. It was such a surreal moment, and funny enough, it marked a full month since I'd been single. I think a lot of things happen for a reason. Maybe not everything, but a lot. I feel like being single and going into my 30s single has been the most exciting, empowering thing I'm doing, and it's only the beginning. It kind of feels like when I turned 21 and I made sure I just dodged every guy that wanted a relationship with me. That's exactly how it feels, because I'm like, no. When I'm 21, I'm gonna live out my forever 21 dreams, you know? I'm not getting into anything. And I did that, and I'm so proud of myself for doing that. Tomorrow, however, Saturday, will mark 1 month till my 30th birthday. And I'm so excited. I feel like a breath of fresh air. Like I've been holding my breath for so long, and I can breathe again. Angels, I've been through it. And in this podcast, it's okay to say that. But I'm so proud of myself for not giving up on me. This experience has, of course, been challenging, but the lessons have been so fruitful, and I really am getting what I deserve. Peace, empowerment, autonomy, a romantic, thrilling, hot girl life. And I'm just so happy. So I just had to share that little piece of me for a moment there, and I hope that it inspired others, or I don't know, just gave you some insight for maybe your life or someone who is around your circle. But yeah, I think Virgo season, although it can be analytical and critical, it's helped me figure out my behavioral patterns too, so I won't repeat the same mistakes again. T. And also the root of my behavior too. T. I find myself every week learning more and more about myself, and I love it. And to make this lighter, I want to talk about some things I've been enjoying, because as someone who just loves to do so many things and constantly finds a way to do it all, Virgo season has been giving me some very interesting hints, and I'm not sure how to take it. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am, but I think if I keep leaning towards a specific path, angels, I just might be a type A personality. Oh my god. Hear me out. It's kind of cool, kind of crazy seeing myself operate like a well-working machine, but hear me out. I wasn't expecting this for Virgo season. Like, what in the Spencer Hastings? No, but I've been operating on a high level of just working really hard, and I love it. And is it weird? Is it weird that I might be having slightly bit of a tough time letting go of my work when it's the weekend? Oh my god, ew. Oh my god, I never thought I'd say that. I'm hoping Libra season can knock me back to balance, but also don't. No, it's crazy. Growing up has been so freaking cool and magical for me. Like, I'm not sure and still don't fully understand why some people hate getting older. Like, it was a little rough for me a few years back again, but that's because I hated my living situation. Like, I hated my life, you know? Therefore, I changed it. If I hadn't changed it, I would not be here. And maybe that's why some people do feel like a resentment. Like, I sense a resentment towards people who are like getting older, growing up. Maybe some people feel like they really can't get out of their situation. And I get that. I did too. At some point, I also felt like I couldn't. Like, I had to figure out a strategic way to get out of said situations. But nonetheless, I did, because, again, I would not be here if I still stayed in that same situation. It took me a minute, but turning selfish made my life a lot easier. It really did. That's the best way to put it. Turning selfish makes your life a whole lot easier. Every time I chose myself and my peace over others and jobs and other things, it was like a huge relief for my body and mind. No joke. I'm not even exaggerating. I wish I was, but I'm not. More tea on that in other episodes. But I think if you're someone who feels like life isn't what you thought it would be, or you find yourself somber most days, I don't think you should ignore that. I don't think you should ignore that feeling and keep going on that same path that you're going. Because maybe it's scary to look behind you or take your eyes off the current path that you're in, but I think this is one of the few times where you do need to look around and see where you are. It's like you're driving, right? And you realize you're not where you want to be. You know, I think you should start looking around and asking for help. Because that path may just not be for you, and that's okay. Just because other people are smiling on that path doesn't mean it's good, you know? Doesn't mean you need to be in it, you know? Just because everyone says so or it's a good path to drive on doesn't mean it's gonna feel good for you, and that's okay. Get out of there. It's not your path. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it doesn't get easier right away when you get off the path. But eventually it does. I promise you. If you do not give up on yourself, it will get easier. And a little bit of Delulu. Working on my mental health and things, I do want to say, because this is a podcast, this isn't a quick TikTok video, I do want to say another thing that should be talked about in caution when you start working on your life, because this is something that happened to me. But another thing that often happens is when you do have the courage, when you have the courage to get out of the unhealthy lifestyle you've been living, afterwards there's like a detached, disassociative, catatonic freeze moment, especially for the sensitive angels out there, depending on the severity or the unhealthy lifestyle, of course. But you kind of feel like stuck in like a, well, what do I do now type of mood, you know? And it could be daunting. And you might feel kind of unuseful to society. You might feel like your value goes down, which is all a load of shit because you don't owe the world anything. Instead of framing it that way, angels, I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't owe the world a damn thing. And maybe you've heard that saying before too, but here's the other part. Part two. Part two of the saying that I'm gonna tell you is you don't owe the world a damn thing. You owe yourself everything. Let me run that back. You don't owe the world a damn performance. You owe yourself the life you deserve, period. You don't owe them the next performance or that. It's about you. And the minute you start going inward first and thinking about you first is when you naturally give to the rest of the world back. Because it's so underestimated, because our world, our society always operates on giving to these people, giving to that, giving and accommodating to everyone else first. How are you going to contribute to society? How are you going to change this and fix that and blah? The answer is yourself. That's it. The answer is you. The answer is us first. Me first. Me. My mother has this new saying. After years of giving to everyone else, she now understands that it's me first, second, and third. And then I can give to others. Let me run that back. It's me first, second, and third. And then I can give to others. And the truth is, that may sound like it's selfish or like, well, there won't be enough of you left to give to the world. Au contraire. When you treat yourself first, when you love yourself first, when you give yourself good sleep, work on your mental health first, establish your boundaries first, respect your yeses and your nos, you actually end up showing up to the world, the table, to society with a much calmer, refreshing aura. You're not bitter, you're not angry, vengeful, resentful, sad, or exhausted anymore. You're you. You're unique. You're a breath of fresh air. You're delighted. You're happy. You're loving. You're clear. The benefits are benefiting. Everything works out. When you do this type of behavior, when you act like this and show up to the world, you just kind of pull out a lot of people out of their childlike behavior. Because I'm going to be honest, a lot of people are children. Like, a lot of us did not grow up. And I'm also outing myself when I say that. Yeah, I was a child. But I grew up, and now I see what children look like. I don't hang out with children, but I can spot the children a lot easier, and I don't entertain that. Sorry, I'm not a mom. And so now that the clouds are clearing up for me, sunny skies in my life, well, sky's the limit from here. I'm excited to learn new things, try new things, be a little braver and bolder, and live my queen dreams. I've been dipping my toes into the herbal apothecary natural medicine spaces. I've also always been an advocate for mental health, so maybe learning more about the nerdy side of psychology. I've also been getting really into women's physical and mental health, so maybe do some research on that. I'm not sure, but I'm excited to just learn about more things, women, myself, as I identify as one. I'm still attempting to read books again. That's a little bit tougher. But I did get one last weekend that looks really interesting, and if I manage to read it, I might do a little book review. But yeah, I'm so excited for the last 4 months of the year to be filled with new excitement, activities, and knowledge that I can't wait to share back to our little Venus Angel community. But that's all I have for you today, angels. Have yourselves a lovely, romanticized weekend. Get your work done and look cunty all while doing it. Or not. Do whatever you want. It's your life. You already serve. My name is Johanna, also go by August here at the Cove, and this is Venus Cove, signing off. Until next time, Venus Angels.